I didn't believe that I passed, because what happened before my examiner told me the results, I couldn't believe what he said, how he said it. It was so nerve-wracking. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. But let me tell you everything that happened before, during, and after my driving test. You just stay tuned. Today, I'm finally going to tell you how I passed my UK practical driving test. Honestly, I thought I had failed. My heart kept racing. I was just so jittery. It was a nerve-wracking day for me. I couldn't even believe what the examiner told me, because it was just so nerve-wracking. So let me just tell you the whole story today. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. Almost 2 years in the UK, I was jumping buses. My workplace was like, if I'm going to take a bus, I'm going to take 3 buses. I've done a video about, how I was really struggling with a bus. So if I'm going to take a bus, I'm going to take 3 buses, and it will take me like 2 hours to get to work. Yes, when I'm going. And then when I'm coming back, the same thing. I'll take 3 buses to get home, and I'll take another 2 hours to get home, which is 4 hours on the road. So that is what I was going through for almost 2 years, working in my present workplace. It was a lot. It was a struggle for me. I'll be in the rain, I'm on the road. In the cold, I'm on the road. In the sunshine, I went through a lot. It was so challenging for me. It was super challenging. Sometimes I used to try. Eventually, when I don't get a bus, I'll just stay under the bus stop and start crying. That's how much it was a struggle for me. It was so much of a pain for me. And I told myself, I need to learn how to drive in the UK. It wasn't as if I didn't drive back home. I am a Nigerian mom who live in the UK now with my large family of 5. So back in Nigeria, I used to drive, but it's a different terrain here. For example, back in Nigeria, we drive on the right side, but here we drive on the left side. Back in Nigeria, it was a left-hand cars that we drive, but here it was a right-hand car. So it was a totally different terrain, and then you have to unlearn what you know in Nigeria and learn what you learn afresh. You relearn from in the UK. So that's what happened to me. I had to just take off all the memory of everything that happened, every form of driving in Nigeria, and I have to start all over again. So let me tell you the genesis. I was living in Coventry far back in like 3 years ago. I was living in Coventry, and then a lot of people told me that, oh, if you learn with manual, you'll be able to drive a lot of cars. You'll be able to drive both manual and automatic. But if you learn with automatic, you will only be able to drive automatic. So I told myself, okay, I want to be versatile. And then I spoke to my brother. I have a brother in Australia, and then he told me, oh, why don't you learn the manual so that you are flexible. You can drive both manual and automatic. So I started learning manual then. But the fact that I'm a right-handed person, and the fact that I have to be using the gear, turning the gear stick, and at the same time learning to concentrate on the road, it was so much for me. It was so much for me because, number one, I don't know how to use my left hand. My left hand is very weak. I don't really know how to use it. So now imagine me learning to use the gear, and at the same time I needed to concentrate on the road, and at the same time I needed to concentrate on the road markings, the floor. It was just so much for me. It was too much. See, I was overwhelmed. I was learning, I was paying the driver, but I was overwhelmed. And guess what? I sacked my driver. I sacked my driving instructor. Yes, I sacked him, because why will I be paying you and I'm not getting value? I wasn't getting it. I wasn't learning. I knew I wasn't learning, because using the gear, concentrating on the road, concentrating on the road mark on the floor and the signpost, it was overwhelming. So I did that for 1 month, and I told myself that no, I can't do this. I had to be truthful to myself, and I told myself, no, I can't do this. So I told my instructor that I can't cope, that I'm going to just start learning. I don't want to base, everybody's dynamics is different. So I don't want to base my learning. Other people may learn differently, they may get used to it, but I wasn't getting used. I was almost doing 1 month, and I paid block, like I paid my instructor block, because that was how serious I was. I paid my instructor, a whole 1 month payment. So I told him when I wasn't getting it, I told him that I don't think I want to continue. And he was nice enough to give me my balance. It was really nice enough to give me my balance. So that was that chapter. And then that 4 years ago, I was working in a domiciliary care setting. And so I actually still needed to drive, but it wasn't so compulsory, because I had colleagues who would pick me up. But so it wasn't really. But when I moved to this town where I am, and my workplace is so far from home, it was really compulsory. It was really compulsory for me to really learn this driving, because I was struggling on the road, under the rain, under the sun, under everything. I would be on, like, there are days that the buses won't come. There are days that the buses won't come, and I'll be stranded, and some days I will have to spend so much on Uber. I'll be spending like £33, almost £40 on Uber. So it wasn't making sense for me at all. So the only solution was to learn to drive. So when I got here, I made up my mind I was going to start learning using automatic. I don't care. I don't care if I'm not able to drive the manual. I just want to be on the road. I just want to be on the road. It was so stressful for me. So I got an instructor, and then I started with him. So, we started gradually, it was like, starting all over again. I didn't want to think of Nigerian driving. On the first day, he told me to drive, and, he wanted to see how much, how well I could drive. So he said my hand was straight. Yeah, he said my hand was straight, maybe because I've been driving back home. But I always need to be on the left side of the road, which my head was, I needed to wrap my head around that I need to be on the left side of the road. So I started my my classes with my instructor. Another reason why I needed this car was that my children were going to Girls Guide, and the location was a bit far, so they will have to take buses, to get there, or even if they don't take buses, like 21 minutes walk. So on the day I'm working, my husband will have to take them to work. He will take my son, and then they will have to do that long walk with my son, and then come back again. It was really stressful for them. Then going and coming, it was really stressful. So when he takes them, by the time they close, I would have closed from work. So when I'm closing, when I'm coming back home, I'll come down from the bus, and then pick them, and we'll do another long walk home. So it was a challenge. And the days that they have to go on visits, maybe play dates, I'll have to beg maybe their friends' parents to come and pick them up. It was just it wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny. And then during you know, they are in Girls Guide. So when they are having maybe like camping or all of that, it is only them, you know, that we usually look for the guides, instructors and co. They usually look for parents that will pick them. So we always lobby to get parents that can help to pick them, because those places buses don't get there. Sometimes buses don't get there, or you have to use Uber. So their Girls Guide trainer was always so nice to, you know, be asking parents around, you know, for who can pick them and drop them off at the location and still bring them home. So the parents don't mind, honestly, but to me, I just felt like, no, these are the reasons why we need car. We need car. I'm a big family. I have 3 children. We are a family of 5. So we needed that. We needed that independence. And then talking about independence, sometimes my colleagues that have cars, I'll have to, you know, beg them that if they can pick me at some point. So they would give me time, and then I have to work with their time. So I have to wake up much earlier. I wake up sometimes at 5 o'clock or before 5, just so that I don't miss them, because by the time I don't get there at that time that they gave me, they will go. They will leave me at the bus stop and I have to take Uber, which is not their fault. It's my fault. So sometimes when they leave me, I cry. In this UK, I'm used to crying now, because it's not easy. It's not the weather, the environment, everything is not easy. So I just cry, I cry. I get easily emotional. So I cry. By the time I finish crying and wiping my tears, I'll look for Uber and get myself to work. So these were the things that made me get serious, you know, with my driving. I told myself, I need to be on the road. The struggle was so much. I can't even explain how much I struggled. I really, really struggled. There are some days that, you know, it may just be 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left for the bus to get to where my colleagues are, but because they needed to get to work, if they wait more than that, I'll make them get late, you know. So they would leave, and then by the time I get down, I'll finish crying, and then I'll either take another bus, knowing that I'll be late, and then I'll call my workplace to tell them that I'm sorry, I'll be late to work. And then it got to a stage, there was a time they had to cut the hours that I get late. Those that use this bus, they had to cut up the hours. So for example, we usually resume at 6:45, but they had to cut it up to 7. So they took out the 15 minutes because of the lateness. So you can see how much I really struggled, how much I needed to go to be on the wheels to start driving. It was so much of a challenge. So back to my driving. Once I drive, and let me just warn you of something, it is not cheap. It is not cheap. It is not cheap. It's not cheap at all. The driving instructor, some of them will take £40 per hour.
Mommy, falls your have stupid glasses?
Can you go? I'm doing video. Don't let him come inside. So some of the driving instructors, some of them will take £40 per hour. Some of the cheapest is £35 per hour. But I don't even think there is. I don't think, but you may be lucky to see, but it is minimum of 2 hours. Yeah, it's minimum of 2 hours. So when I learned to a particular level, I got broke. I got broke because there were so many other expenses. So I stopped. I paused for that period, and then I told myself, okay, I'll save up again and start again. So that's one of the mistakes I did. If you want to learn the driving, just put money together, get serious, pass your tests. So I was broke. I stopped. I took a break like 2 times. Yes, 2 good times. So that's why it took me more than 1 year, going to 2 years to pass my tests. That's why it took me that long. You know, so the lesson I learned was that if you're going to learn now, if you are going to learn now, just put your money together, learn it at once, and book for your practical driving test. That's one thing I want you to take home. I have other tips. Let's keep going. I did my theory test like over 2 years ago, and that was another thing that made me to be on edge, because once your theory test gets to 2 years, you have to redo the theory again before you book for practical. So those were the things that made me, I was so much on edge. I was so tense. That period was so, it was so difficult for me. So I was praying to God that not only doing the test, but to pass. So it really meant so much to me to pass this test. It meant so much to me, so it was just, I was pushing it, and then I started again. When I took that break, when I didn't even have the money, I took the break, and then I started learning all over again. I started, there was more struggles, and then you need to be patient. If you get angry easily, this is where you need the patience, because the instructors may get you angry. Why? Because they want you to pass. You yourself, you want to pass, but it's not so easy being on the road, being on the wheels. You are tensed up. Your mind is on the road. Your mind is on the markings. You have to check the markings, and especially when you get to the roundabout. So they are all totally new things. You have to concentrate on so many things at the same time. And the instructor, when you make a mistake, some of the instructors don't have that patience. They may just snap at you. So you need to be so patient, honestly, because you may even get to a stage you snap back at your instructor. Yes. I know somebody that has done that. She said, no, I can't take it anymore. I have to leave, But I told her, everything is patience. This thing is patience. You know what you want. That is what, just keep your eye on it. You don't need to get upset. It's just for a few weeks or few months, depending on how fast you learn. So that's another thing. You need to be very, very patient. If the instructor snaps at you, just take it. It is a learning phase. You just take it and continue. So for me, I struggled with roundabout a lot. By the time I'm getting to the roundabout, I'm already scared. I'm already jittery by the time I'm getting to the roundabout. But my instructor made me understand that, don't worry, it is people. People are on the wheels, right? They are not robots. They are not monsters. So when you get to the roundabout, before you get to the roundabout, scan the junction. Start scanning before you even get to the roundabout. Start scanning. Start looking. Once you see the roundabout at the distance, just start looking for cars. Once you see that the road is clear, there are no cars, and then you always have to give way to cars coming from your right. That's a rule. That is a rule. You always have to give way to all the cars coming from your right. So you ensure that no cars are coming before you enter the roundabout. So for me, I'm always happy if it is first the first turning. Oh, I'm always happy. First turning, I'm always happy. So I know that I'm just going to trafficate left and then go to the first turning. But if it is the second, then it's more strategic, So it was a learning phase for me. I was so much scared of roundabouts. My instructor made me understand that I shouldn't worry. Then I started watching YouTube videos about roundabouts. So anytime I finish my classes, I come home, I watch. Sometimes I'll wake up in the midnight and open that thing and watch it. That's how serious, that's how much I really needed to pass this test. I'll open the YouTube and start learning and start watching. So when it got to like a month or 2 months to my test day, I booked my test quite all right. In fact, let me tell you something. Do you know that because of the fear, I changed my test date like 2 times? Because of the fear. I changed the date and I was looking for a location. I was looking for the location where I live. There were so many big roundabouts. And because of my fear of roundabouts, I had to change it. I was looking for dates. I was looking for another location, maybe a smaller town or something. So I changed my test location and date like two times already. By the time I got a good location, then I told myself, I think I'm good to go. Please, at this point, I'm going to pause and I'm going to wait for you to subscribe. Please, can you subscribe to this channel now? Subscribe. Click it and subscribe. Click it. Then please drop your comments. Because I'm sure that there are some things I have missed. And if you would like to ask me the questions, I'm open to answer all the your questions in the comment section. So just drop your comments, and please subscribe. Click. Thank you for subscribing. So as I was saying, when it was like a month plus to my exam day, my instructor went to Australia. He traveled. Luckily for me, my friend, it's good to have some clique of friends. I have some friends that I know what to ask them. I know they are good in some things. So I just went to meet her and I told her, do you have anyone, a driving instructor? And then she gave me this person's number. So I started with him for just that I think almost a month, just to brush me up. And then we started doing the classes. We're going. He was very, very patient. Although sometimes he will snap, instructors, because they want you to pass and you are doing the same mistake. And me doing the same mistake, it's not like I want to do it, but because of the nerves. This thing is nerve-wracking, but it is worth it at the end of the day. It is very worth it, because I'm going to give you my experience after I passed. I gained so much, something from my heart. I could feel something a release. I could feel a release when I passed the test. So I don't want to digress. So I started with this man just for me to pass my test. Sorry, go. Close the door. So, and another thing I would like to please beg you, if you book your tests, please go and do mock test at the venue. Please, it's very important. I have some colleagues that said, they didn't bother to go and do mock test. No, please, you need to do your mock test at the venue. It is very, very important. So the new instructor, took me around. We're always going. Sometimes he will pick me around very early, 6:30. He will tell me 6:30 a.m. we will have class. Sometimes in the night, he will tell me we have class. So I was very flexible. I wasn't giving excuses. My instructor would say, he has a student that is always giving excuse. He will tell me how to do childcare. Because I know what I want. Even if I have to do childcare, I'll quickly call a friend and say, please, can I drop my children with you? That's how much I didn't want to give excuse. I didn't want to give any excuse at all. Even if he tells me, we have class by 6:30 a.m. I'm going to look for that time. I'm not going to give any excuse. I'll look for every opportunity not to give excuse. I'll be ready at that 6:30. And that time he even told me that it was summer period. It wasn't summer period. It was like winter period. So it was always getting dark on time. So, he told me that we would drive in the dark. So we drove in the dark. I didn't mind. I just wanted to overcome all those fears. So we drove in the dark, because if, for example, if you have to, we didn't know what would come up. So he just told me he wants me to drive in every situations. So we drove in the dark and all that. On my exam day, we left very, very early in the morning. I think we left around, no, he was supposed to come around 7, but he took a student for a test, and luckily the student passed. So he took a student for a test, and he told me that he'll be coming a little later, which helped me. You know, some people told me I have to eat banana. I ate banana. The nurse was still there. You know, I took banana. They will tell you to, you know, I've read it, and a lot of people have said, oh, if you take banana. So I ate banana, but it wasn't really helping. But I took my banana. So when he eventually came, I was ready. I carried my bag. I was dressed as if I was going for an interview. So on that fateful day, my instructor asked me how I was. I told him I was fine, even though I was nervous. I was really nervous on that morning. He told me that I'll be fine. And then from the point, because my instructor comes to my house to pick me up. So from the point he picked me up, I drove all the way to my test center. My test center was around 45 minutes away. I drove to my test center. I was trying to act normal, but my instructor could see the nervousness, and he told me that I'll be fine. I was trying to act very normal, but so we got to the test center. He gave me all the tips. We did mock. We got there, we were driving around. He told me the test, that there are like 9 test routes, but he showed me like 5. And then he told me that there's no how we will not pass all these places. And trust me, if I did not go to my test center to do the mock test, there were some very, very funny roads. In fact, there's a particular road I would have thought that is a no-go area. It was built, it was like brick. It was like brick kind of road. I wouldn't have passed that place if I didn't go for mock. I would have thought maybe is a blocked road. So thank God I went, we went through all the test routes. We went through most of them. Out of 9, at least we went through 5. So we got to the test center. He gave me like words of encouragement. I was, receiving them. I was smiling nervously. It was just a day. That day was a day. It was a big day. It was a big deal for me. My friends that called me, I was just putting it on flight mode. I didn't want any distraction. Even my children, I didn't tell them I was going for tests. If not, they would have been asking, I didn't tell them. If not, it would have been they would have been making me feel more nervous. So fast forward to when we got to the test center, I got down from the car. My instructor said it could be in the car if I wanted, that I could let him be in the car. He doesn't mind sitting at the back. But I said I don't want to. I don't think I would want anybody in the car, because it would make me more nervous knowing that I have another eyes behind me and I have another eyes beside me. That would be too nerve-wracking for me. So when we got inside, the test center, we sat down. I sat down far from my examiner because I didn't even want to look at him. I just wanted to concentrate, and then I did prayers. I did silent prayers. Most importantly, please, people, don't forget your provisional license. Don't forget it. I've had people that forgot and then they had to cancel the test. In fact, even at that test center, some people forgot their driving provisional license, so they had to cancel. So please, please, and please don't forget to take your provisional license. That should be the first thing. If possible, hold it, put it in the clothes that you're going to wear, put it in the pocket, or the purse you're going to take, put it in that purse. Please, this is very important. So when it was time, the instructors came out. They're like 3, 4, 5 instructors came out at the same time, and they were calling names. There's this woman that even answered to my name. That's how nervous she was. You know, she came for her test too. So when they called my name, another person answered. And then she was like, that's her name, that's her name. And even me, I was smiling because she was so nervous. She was so nervous. So, you know, she went back to her seat. It was me. I showed my ID, my provisional license. I showed it to my instructor. And, you know, my instructor asked me a few questions. He asked if I wanted my driving tutor, my driving instructor to come with me. So my examiner asked me if I wanted my driving instructor to come with me, and I said no. I said no. He wasn't happy about it, but it is about me, it's not about him. So I said no, and my examiner said that was fine, and then I should come with him. So we went out. We went out of the hall, and he told me that I should look down, you know, at a distance, and ask me to tell, just to, you know, it's like an eyesight check, you know, just to be sure that you can see clearly. So he showed me a car at a distance and told me to call out the plate numbers for him. And then I called the plate number out for him, and he was like, okay, fine. Where is your car? So it was my instructor's car that we went with. I showed him the car. We went inside the car, and he explained. He asked me if I know what I'm supposed to do, or he should explain. I said, please, if you can explain to me, I would appreciate it. So he explained everything, you know, the process, what we are going to do. We are going to drive for 10 minutes. Is it 10 to 15 minutes? And then we're going to drive for 15 to 20 minutes. I've forgotten. That we're going to drive for a particular period of time, and he's going to ask me to park, and he's going to ask me to reverse, to do some maneuvers, and yeah. And then, so if I'm ready, we should drive off. Guess what? I started the car. I didn't put my gear on drive, and I was moving. I was trying to. So it was as if my heart was in my throat. It was as if my heart was in my throat. I was so scared. But the examiner was an angel. Yes, when I say my examiner was an angel, I mean it. My examiner was an angel. He told me to calm down. So even when I didn't put the gear on drive, on D, he knew that it was nerves. He knew that it was nerves, because I was pressing the accelerator and it wasn't moving. So he smiled. He smiled and told me to take a deep breath. If I need to take a drink, that I should take a drink. That I shouldn't worry. It's nothing. I shouldn't be nervous. So we started moving. And at the entrance of that gate, of that particular gate, that entrance is so tricky. There were bumps, and then there were it was a big bump, and then you have to slow down, and then you have to wait for. So it was so tricky. We passed that place with my driving instructor like so many times, and he told me, don't make this mistake, because this alone can make you fail. So I told myself I'm going to be as calm as possible. And then one tip that I made myself think that my friend was beside me. So I just got into the act. Nearly I started the car. I just got into the act, and I made myself think that I had my friend beside me. So that made me calm down a bit. When we got to that entrance, that gate, I was calm. I remembered everything. I was playing everything all over in my head. So I was calm, and then we started moving. And guess what? It started raining. Not small rain, no. It started raining seriously. It was raining seriously. But because I told myself, I already got into that act, I already got into that mood of believing that I had my friend beside me. I didn't want it to affect me. I didn't want it to. It was raining cats and dog. So I had to use the wiper, and then they showed me, tell me my instructor already showed me everything in his car. So just make sure that your instructor shows you every little thing, everything in the car. And then most times it's just maybe 10 questions you need to know. Show me and tell me questions. They are not that much. So just know those basics. I think show me question is 10. Tell me question is about 10 too. So just know all those things. Once you know those ones, there's no how they will ask you question outside those those 10. There's no how they will ask you questions outside those 10. So once you just know it, you have that confidence. So we started driving, and my instructor started asking me questions. The first question he asked me was, "Is this your car?" And I said, "No, this is not my car. This is my instructor's car." So I was moving. I was driving smoothly. So, and then he started the conversation. So I was flowing with the conversation, and he saw that I was flowing, even with the rain, even with the traffic. My test was around 12 p.m. So that was lunch time for workers. It was a weekday at 12 p.m. So there was traffic, there was rain, there were bicycles on the road. It was a busy day. So he watched the way I was stopping at zebra crossing. When you get at zebra crossing, you have to slow down for those that want to cross. You have to slow down and wait for them to cross. It is when they step out of that zebra crossing, that you will move. So I observed all those things. I observed everything. Bicycles were moving. You have to give them arm's length. If bicycles are on the way, bicycles have a right on the road as well as cars. So you have to give them that gap, and then go your own way. So I was observing all those things, and then the examiner asked me one question. He said, because when I was going straight, and then at the left hand just in front of me, a car was about to come out. And then he mentioned something. He said, "Oh, that car is about to come out." And I told him that that I have a right of way. He was pointing that car to me, but the car was actually waiting for me to go, because that car was on my left. Remember, you have to give way to all the cars coming on your right. So that car was actually waiting for me, but the instructor pointed at me. So he thought I was going to pause for the car to go, but I was the one going straight. So I have the right of way. When I told my instructor, I said, "No, I have the right of way, so he's going to wait for me." The car actually waited for me, and I went. I didn't pause. So if I had paused, it would have been undue hesitation. So it would have been marking me down for all those things. So he tested me with a lot of things. My question for the show me was the wiper, which I already did. You already had that question, so it was a wiper. I already used the wiper, and then I used I think it was getting a bit dark, so I used the lights, and then he saw that I was familiar with the gadgets in the car, my dashboard. He saw that I was familiar with my dashboard. I felt like he was impressed. So we were going. And then he told me that at that point, he was the one telling me where to go. So at some point, I think I didn't hear him. I didn't hear when he said, "We have to turn." So I kept on going. I was going straight at that speed. So once I get to the beginning of the street, you look the speed. Your speed limit will be either on the floor or at the board. So I was checking all those limits, I was checking all those speed, and I was observing them. So if a speed limit is 40, I wasn't doing slower. I was doing 37, and I was doing like 38. I was giving two figure back. I was doing like 38, between 38 to 40. I wasn't going slower than that. So I was observing. So at the point, he now told me, oh, he wanted me to go to the left, but don't worry, it's not anything. Just keep going. So that's what he told me. And while we were doing that, we were having a conversation. So he said, oh, do I have a car? And 2 months before, yes. So another question my driver asked me was, do I have a car? Yes, I'm going to tell you something today. I bought my car 2 months before my test. Yes, I was advised, my examiner told me, if you want to buy a car, we can learn in your car. No problem, we can learn in your car. And then you have to get someone who has 3 years clean license in the UK to be beside me. So that's another thing that helped me. So he asked what my car, and I told him, yes, I have a car. He asked the model, I told him, and he said, and I told him something. I said, but I actually like, I told him the model of my car, and I said, but I like another brand. I like Jazz, Honda Jazz, because it's spacious. I like it because I have a big family. So I started with that conversation, and he was looking at me like, this person that knows, this person, I like to do a lot of research. So before I bought my car, I did a lot of research. Honda Jazz is a nice car. It is very spacious inside. So I told him, I said, oh, if not for that, my present car, I would have bought Honda Jazz because it's spacious inside, and it's quite big. It has a big interior. So he was like, oh, okay. And then he asked me one question again, another question, and he said, why did you pick this test center? Because I know you have a test center in your area. Is it because that area, there are so many big roundabouts? And I was stuck. I said, this question, I don't want to answer, what would get me in trouble. I said, no, not that. I think I didn't answer that question. I was very diplomatic. I didn't answer. I said, no, not that. He said, well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, you have to go and do your test. Where you're comfortable is not about where you live. It's just where you are comfortable. So we were talking. I was very comfortable on the road, talking and driving. I was making sure that I observed every rule on the road. We got to the roundabout. I would scan the roundabout before we get there. And if there are cars coming, I have to wait, be on a full stop, wait, and then if the road is free, just go your own way. So at the point he played the sat nav, I followed the sat nav up until I didn't even know that time had gone. I was enjoying the ride. But there are some times that, listen to this, so there are some times that I think I didn't wait till someone, you're supposed to give way to cars coming on the right? But I moved. I went fast. I didn't wait. I just went. I didn't calculate well, so I just went. But it wasn't a close one. It was still something that is forgivable. So at that point, I told myself, oh, I should have waited longer. I hope I've not passed. I hope I've not failed. We went, and then the examiner became quiet. He became quiet, and I was beating myself already. I told myself, oh my God, what have I done? So he said we should park. He told me to park. I parked. I went. He told me to park on the left. When I feel that it's convenient, I should park on the left side. I trafficated. I looked for a convenient parking, and I parked. And he told me when I'm okay, I should move again. I had to observe my 360 degrees. You do your 360 degrees before moving, trafficate before going on the road. He told me to do that again. He told me to park on the right side if it's safe. So I did that again. Before moving on, I did my 360 degree observation. I had to be checking. In fact, this is my neck. I was moving my neck, making sure I was observing. Those were the things that I didn't forget to do. Even though I was talking, I was checking my mirrors. If I have to trafficate left, I have to look at the left mirror, center mirror, you know. I had to do all those observations. If I have to trafficate right, I have to look at my center mirror, right mirror, you know. I made sure that all those observations, I wasn't missing it. If I have to reverse, you have to be turning, making sure that you're checking your left, right, center mirror, you know, all those observations. I made sure that I didn't miss them. So I was doing all that. So when it got to a stage, it kept quiet. So I told myself, I hope I haven't done something, you know, I hope that everything was fine. So he told me I did some reversing. Yeah, I did some reversing, you know, and he told me the test has ended, then we have to go back to the test center. He said he was going to direct me. So he directed me to the test center. By the time we got to the gates of the test center, other students were also finishing. So there were so many cars. There were like 3, 4, 5 cars wanting to go into the test center. So at that entrance, I saw cars coming, but I entered first. Sorry, go. So I saw cars first, you know, I entered. I just had to enter first, and then when we got inside the test center, he told me I shouldn't worry, I should just pass. I should just park anywhere I want. So at that time, I just felt like, oh, what's going through this man's head? I hope everything was fine. So I parked the car, and then he looked at me. He started writing things on his board, on his iPad. And I was looking at him, I was looking away, and then he said something. I didn't hear what he said. He said something. I just looked to my side, and then he told me, congratulations, you passed your test. Ah! I started crying. I was crying. I started crying, my people. The happiness, I could not explain how happy. I felt like that was the happiest day of my life. I was super grateful. I was thanking him. I was thanking him so much. I was so grateful. I was thanking him. At that point, my examiner came out. He was still even upset that I didn't take him with me. I opened the door, and then my examiner said, okay, come, let me explain to you let me explain. He now said, you actually passed without a fault. You only had a fault when you were driving into the test center. Because there were so many cars coming at the same time, you should have given way to one of the cars before you drove in. That's where your fault was. If not, you wouldn't have gotten any fault. You would have passed with no fault. I couldn't contain my joy. My people, I couldn't contain my joy. I pray you that you're watching this video and you're preparing for your test. With this video, I pray, watching this video, I pray that you have gotten a lot of tips. I pray that you have gotten a lot of tips. There are some things, even if you feel like you want to ask me some questions, just drop them in the comment section. Please drop them. I'm going to answer, because there are some things I have missed. But I learned so many things within this period. I was learning to drive. Even on my exam day, there's some things that I could catch. Even from the examiners, there's some things that I could hold on to, that I advise people. Now, I go to them, I tell them, do this, do this, do this. I tell you, they pass their tests. So there are a lot of things that some of them that I've not been able to say in this video. Please drop a comment. Drop a comment. I'm going to answer you. I personally would answer you. Drop comments, please. Drop comments, and make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to tell you in the next video. I'm going to tell you how I bought my first car and the things that helped, because buying that first car is another thing that helped me with passing this. So I'm going to bear it all, explain everything to you, So please, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. And then also, I want to show my gratitude. I appreciate you. If you have watched this video to this extent, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, because it's not easy, giving me your time to watch this video. But I appreciate you. I thank you so much. And I hope that you have subscribed, because I'm bringing some more things, some more tips, especially how I bought my first car and the things that I want you to watch out for, all the costs, the cost of buying the car, what to look out for when you're buying your car. Yes, the things to look out for. They may look, easy, but I'm gonna tell you, because I did a lot of research, and that's why me and my driving examiner was able to flow in that conversation, because of all the researches I've done. So I think, all those things impressed him. I don't know, but with all the things I have learned, I've gathered me, I'm a rolling stone. Oh, I've gathered a lot. Sorry. So I've gathered a lot. So drop your comments. I'm going to personally respond to those comments, and then just watch my next video on how I bought my first car in the UK, and the costs those costs that nobody tells you about. I've written everything down. I'm going to explain everything to you, in the next video. So once again, thank you so much. Kindly subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Press the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, it's easy for you. It will pop up on your screen. To press that notification bell, drop a like, drop a heart, drop a comment. I'll really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate. Bye. I love you.